At 054, the tropical province of Hainan, China's southernmost island known for its palm-lined beaches and thriving tourism, was struck by a devastating hailstorm and windstorm, unleashing a chaotic combination of natural forces that left widespread destruction in its wake. What began as a calm, overcast sky quickly turned volatile within minutes as violent winds surged and hailstones fell like bullets from the sky. The winds reached typhoon-like speeds, ripping off rooftops, bending road signs, toppling trees, and destroying power lines. Streets were filled with debris, twisted metal, shattered glass, broken furniture, and fallen utility poles. At 2:24, the terrifying roar of the storm echoed through homes and buildings, forcing residents to seek shelter and brace for the worst. Many compared the sound of the storm to a war zone, with windows rattling and objects slamming into walls. At the same time, golf ball-sized hailstones relentlessly pummeled the region, cracking car windshields, denting roofs, and obliterating crops in an instant. Farmers stood helpless as vast fields of tropical fruits like bananas, papayas, and cucumbers were shredded beyond salvage. Greenhouses and makeshift markets collapsed under the combined force of the hail and wind, causing severe damage to the local agriculture industry. At 3:43, public transportation came to a halt. Ferry routes were suspended, and visibility dropped to near zero in some areas. Emergency teams scrambled to respond to reports of people trapped under collapsed roofs or stranded in homes without power or communication. Rescue efforts were complicated by blocked roads and fallen trees, making navigation through the terrain extremely dangerous. Authorities issued the highest level of weather warnings, advising all residents to stay indoors. Schools, government offices, and businesses were shut down. Public broadcast systems continuously issued warnings, urging people to stay away from windows and disconnect electrical devices. Despite precautions, numerous injuries were reported, mostly due to broken glass, flying objects, and accidents on debris-covered, wet roads. At 5:34, as night fell, the storm intensified. Lightning illuminated the sky, revealing scenes of devastation. While thunder cracked across the island, mobile towers were damaged in several districts, causing communication blackouts that added to the panic.
啲生意唔係咁做㗎，平啊！有時候啲嘢係冇，大家咁熟係冇。你阿媽喺呢啲生意係咁做㗎，唔係幾百蚊嘅問題。你要我幾百蚊，我俾你冇所謂係冇。
Some areas experienced power outages lasting through the night, leaving families in darkness while the wind howled outside and hail continued battering their homes. The aftermath was staggering. Piles of hail blocked drains, causing minor flash floods in low-lying areas. Fallen trees blocked major roads, and entire markets were reduced to rubble. Cleanup crews worked around the clock, but their efforts were hindered by continued gusts and dangerous debris. Many families were evacuated to temporary shelters where emergency supplies of food and water were distributed. Local and national disaster response teams acted swiftly, deploying police, firefighters, and soldiers to provide aid and restore critical services. At 7:43, hospitals received the injured while engineers worked to restore power and repair broken infrastructure. Volunteers from neighboring areas poured in to assist with relief efforts, distributing blankets, food, and medical supplies to those in need. This event highlighted the urgent issue of climate-related disasters in China, particularly in southern regions like Hainan, where tropical storms are becoming increasingly intense and unpredictable. Experts warn that rising global temperatures are contributing to stronger hailstorms, higher wind speeds, and more volatile weather patterns across Asia, the economic toll is expected to be substantial, particularly in the agriculture and tourism sectors. However, beyond the material losses, there is a deeper wound, one of trauma and shock, felt by communities that were suddenly thrown into a nightmare by the wrath of nature. But this storm serves as a grim reminder of nature's fury and the urgent need for stronger preparedness, smarter infrastructure, and global cooperation in dealing with the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. In Hainan, recovery efforts are already underway, but it will take time and patience. The people here, despite facing tremendous difficulties, remain resilient, determined to overcome the challenge. The government and the community are working tirelessly to rebuild what was lost and improve the warning systems and preparedness for future storms. Yet the aftermath of this storm leaves not only material losses, but also lasting trauma and grief for the people of Hainan. The scenes of destruction, the isolation in the darkness after power was lost, and the howling wind in the night will forever be etched in the minds of the people. This storm also serves as a reminder that, in the age of climate change, natural disasters can strike anytime, anywhere, and they show no mercy to those who are unprepared. Therefore, individuals, communities, and nations must raise awareness of the impacts of climate change and act together to mitigate the damage in the future. Hainan, with all the devastation it has endured, will slowly recover, but the lesson learned from this storm will live on in the hearts of the people, a lesson of resilience, unity, and the strength of the community in the face of nature's harshest challenges. To receive real-time updates on natural disasters in China, extreme weather events, and raw footage from affected regions, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring important stories to light when they matter the most.
Nature doesn't send us warnings, but we can. Floods, earthquakes, wildfires, and storms are striking harder and faster than ever before. By subscribing, you are not just watching, you are joining a movement to stay alert, stay informed, and helps others to do the same. Hit the subscribe now because the next disaster won't wait, and neither should you. Be ready and be aware.